What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dice House from their DCO commentary. Bringing this video here today. It's a very long video, but has absolutely nothing to do with gameplay, or doesn't really show any gameplay except for a few 1v1s later on with me. We got into a very interesting conversation in Lead Chat today with some of my buddies, talking about this new mark conversion process is coming across and all that, and the atrocious rates that they are suggested that they're going to be doing here. We got to talking about a lot of different things involving PvE and PvP and things that are coming in with DLC 6. So take a listen. I'm interested in hearing what your opinions are. If you got time to watch it, I encourage you all to watch it though, and hopefully developers will see it too, and pay attention to what their community has to say.
Maybe they need to focus on, when some of this other MMO competition drops, they need to focus on making people resub to the game instead of buying replay badges.
I mean, that's an option. I mean, again, like you're saying though. I mean, it's like I said on one of their threads on there. I was like, the game is advertised as play your way. All right, so if the game is advertised as play your way, how come I can't PvP all damn day and still get access to everything that's coming in these layers?
Yeah, I mean, PvE is one thing because, alright, so you get an unfair advantage in PvE, you're the top DPS, whatever.
Exactly.
Everybody finishes the raid, everybody gets their marks and their loot, and everybody's happy. But in PvE, somebody comes in with a fucking clown box or a Hell Jordan, and you lose because of that, that makes you fucking rage and want to quit the game.
Right. I posted that too as a reply to somebody. I was like, some of you guys still don't get it. And I was like, let me explain. In PvE, if somebody hits an orbital strike, that's cool. He's helping you finish the raid faster. You're not going to complain about it, even though you don't have yours. We go into PvE or PvP, and somebody on the opposing team hits an orbital strike. We're at an extreme disadvantage because that guy ran way more PvE than we did.
Yeah. It comes in several different factors. Either one, he ran a lot more PvE than we did, or he spent more money on replay badges for the PvE in order to get that.
All right.
I mean, there's another point that should be, reached as well. I mean, there was a time back when I was in grade school when they were like, Americans are watching an appalling amount of television. The average American watches 4 hours of television a day, and it's ruining our health and our education. And I mean, I'm playing this game 6 to 8 hours a day, and I can't keep up with that pace that they're trying to put out there.
I know. I mean, I play this game a lot. And I mean, as much as I PvP, you'd think I was a heavy PvEer with all the damn the 500 challenges, 500 duel feats I got completed and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did all that to get the skill points so I could PvP. I switched to electricity to get the extra extra feats done for the styles.
And it's bigger than that too, because it's bigger than skill points, because you get a utility belt, you'll get 3 of the 4 trinkets to use, and that's another thing. The PvP trinket is already the most useless trinket in the game, and it's not a bad trinket, but even DPS players in PvP are like removing their PvP trinket from their utility belts. And now we have debuff serums, which have a faster cooldown than PvP trinket and does the exact same thing.
Yeah. And
you get that by running PvE or farming. Like it's frustrating. Where does it end, man?
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's so frustrating. I mean, because like I was saying, I mean, I'm upset at the fact that they're going to be forced. I'm really upset at the. I mean, like a lot of people were saying on that thread. I mean, that conversion plan that they came up with is like a slap in the face. Because I'm sorry, a mark of strategy is worth a lot more than a mark of triumph. Because one, you have to reset. You have to reset. All right. They're taking replay badges into consideration. Okay. And all right, it's 12 for a challenge and 12 for a duo, just like it's 12 for an arena. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you reset a challenge, you're getting 75 marks every time. Every time you reset, you're getting 75 marks because you're getting the daily and you're getting your reward box. So you're getting
Right.
75 marks. So why is a market strategy not worth 75?
Yeah, so like that's the thing too. If you beat something in PvE before, you can beat it again. But if you go into a PvP match and you won there last week, you don't know who's going to be on the other side this week. Like you don't know who you're going to be playing against. You don't know what type of powers or anything like that. It's random, man. You might lose.
Yeah,
That's true. I mean,
yeah, and you have
like
to
when I was gearing up Char, I had to skip. It took me a long time to get that gear. I was getting like 4 or 5 marks a week because I couldn't win them all as a tank, solo queuing. And yeah, so I just had to accept my losses.
Yeah,
I PvP'd for 8 hours one day and got like 1 or 2 marks.
I just
Dude,
grinded out.
Me and HL, we got on the other night and realized that we both had just about the same number of wins left to get our 250 feet for Batcave. So we grouped up, and Carlos said, "You guys are going to be doing it until tomorrow." And technically, we kind of were. I mean, we did nothing but queue 2v2 Batcave for like 6 hours straight. You know, and that's with like 40 matches in there. I think we may have lost like 2. All right, with a couple of 5-man breaks in there, he DC'd one time, and I was still able to get the win, thank God. But it was just so frustrating because I mean, 6 hours of that. Okay, now 6 hours. All right, you take into account 6 hours of doing nothing but Batcave. Okay, that's 2 marks of triumph, or I'm sorry, 2 marks of tactic every time we won. All right, we figured we earned probably 82 marks of triumph. I mean, tactics in that 6 hours. You're telling me that those 6 hours was only worth 41 marks of triumph?
Yeah,
6 hours.
take it a step
only
further.
6
If
hours
it was a normal arena, and you would have been resetting it every single time, you would have gotten the 40 strat. You would have got 40 marks of strategy, and they give you 25 tokens of merit for that. You would have got 1k token of merit. All that work, 1k token of merit, where you can just reset FOSS 3 and you get 500 for the reward box. That's not, I don't know how many marks you get for the rest of the raid, but you get 500. FOSS 3 takes, what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to beat? Some groups like 6 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's, that's ridiculous, man. It's really irritating. And
yeah, I mean, I honestly
think the
can't
devs
believe that I'm still playing after everything.
Right. I think some of the devs might think, well, we try to do something nice for the PvP community, and nothing's ever enough. But I think they need to understand too that what made it worse is we didn't know how good these mods were, and now that we're like the test server's out and we're reading all this stuff, it's like, wow, we really are gonna need this to keep up in PvP, and we're gonna have to take a break from PvP for like months.
The mods alone, you have to get. You're gonna have to get because you know there's gonna be other groups out there getting them. You know, so the mods alone you have to get. The orbital strike.
You have to pay rent on the mods too.
Yeah. I mean, for the tier 3 and the tier 4 mods, yeah, you have to. And the cost is the same: 625 for the tier 3 and 3125 for the tier 4.
Honestly, I like the game better before R&D, personally.
I did too. I wasn't a big fan of R&D. I thought R&D brought it brought something to the economy of the game, but I thought that was it. There's just too many. Everything that seems to update the DLCs that come out seems to hurt PvP. It's PvP. Every update seems to be. This is the worst PvP's ever been. Every single update. This is the worst PvP's ever been.
I mean, I don't know, and I don't know what we could do to try and get them to real. I mean, the only thing I can think of to get them to realize, is if we get, like the response that this thread's gotten on their forums. where they announced the conversion rates. I mean, it's up to 5 pages already, which I think is fantastic. I wish it was at 10. I wish it was at 10 with people in there telling them, look, this is messed up. I mean, it's 5 pages already of people telling them it's messed up. It kind of cracked me up, the first couple of responses to it when I first saw it. I mean, there was no response to it yet, but then when I looked at it later, there was a couple of people that was like, okay, yeah, this seems good. Yeah, this seems good, and then I posted up, I put that post of mine on there, illustrating, this is, how ridiculous it was. And then everybody, I mean, when everybody actually sees a counter argument to something, that's when people are like, oh yeah, instead of like, sitting there and thinking for themselves. That's what aggravates me the most.
Yeah. When you posted that thread on Skype, we were all talking, like, it just took for us to read that to like lose our shit. We were pissed off, man. I didn't read any of the things yet. And when you do read, even for me, when you read replies like yours, I get even more irritated. And one of the things that pissed me off about your post, I'm not pissed at you, but it seemed like what SOE was doing was haggling us, and you offered something lower than what you originally had stated, and that pissed me off. I was like, this is what they wanted.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's like I said before. It's like negotiating with the Turkish rug salesman.
Yeah.
No offense to any, Turkish people out there, but no offense to anybody from Turkey or rug salesman. But I mean, that's what it's like. That's what it's like. I mean, I've been to Turkey. I've negotiated with a Turkish rug salesman before. And, it's exactly like that.
Are you getting deja vu?
I mean, but it just, I don't know, man. It just cracks me. And some of the responses on here, it's like, people are talking about how saying, it's like, well, you could, start, PvPing while you're leveling up and, earn marks of taxes and strategy and have enough to, get, full tier 1 or full tier 2, or just skip tier 1 and tier 2 and get full tier 3 before by the time you hit level 3. These people, they're forgetting, one, you don't get tactics or strategy before you're level 30. Okay, the only currency you get is legends and influence, and I think maybe lore. I'm not sure about that.
Is that still true? I thought you got strategy now. When you were leveling up.
I don't think so.
For what?
It'd be kind of ridiculous, getting strategy and all that for tier 4 gear when technically you're not supposed to be able to buy the tier 4 gear before you have tier 3. Right? But at the same time,
I thought you get
they're talking about skipping tiers of gear for PvE by doing that. You can't, because there's a CR requirement. There's a CR requirement for purchasing tier 1 for purchasing tier 2 gear.
You can already skip. Yeah, that's right. You can already skip a lot of this crap by just walking into FOSS 3 and get your reward box, and then you can buy a tier of gear and keep repeating that over and over. And if you want to buy replay badges, of course, that makes the process even faster.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at the tier 2 gear right now. It requires combat rating 43 to purchase it. All right, 50. I think it's 53 for the tier 3, and it's 70 for the tier 4. So I mean, you can't skip. You cannot skip. I mean, you could technically, possibly, get your full tier 1 gear, but there's a hell of a lot faster ways of doing that than farming PvP for those marks to convert them over. You're just one FOS 1 or FOS 3 walking away from getting those reward boxes in there and the marks to drop in there and coming out and getting full tier 1.
It's not bad enough for a fresh level 30 to come up against us now with T4 gear mods and 130 plus skill points. Now they're gonna have orbital strikes, extra mods, and pets to deal with. It's
freaking. We've taken a lot of crap from the devs. I mean, we've survived a lot of crap on this game that we shouldn't have had to put up with because we pay for it monthly, and some of us even bought the game.
I did. I bought it.
Yeah, I bought the $60. I still have my disc. I use my disc to play.
Same here.
The developers seem very out of touch with the community, especially the PvP community. They can't seem to make us content. It's really irritating. And things just keep getting worse, like I said earlier.
Is never been about new content. I would go a year without new content if they could make the content that exists work correctly.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted. All I ever wanted was a balanced, somewhat balanced playing field and take the bullshit out. You know, there's that delay in the blue immunity system so that you can't react. You see a person blocking, you go to block break them. By the time your block break comes out, the game doesn't register that they're still blocking. They can lunge you and get, you know, so they can never react to what you see. You have to anticipate. That irritates me the most about this game. If they could fix that, I'd go without new content forever. I don't care about the content. I just, you know, I enjoy the competition in PvP.
Devs are just really out of touch. Like, when I came back to the game, the Last Laugh had dropped, and that was a PvP DLC. And freaking, I thought it was a good attempt, but the PvP community didn't ask for any of that. We didn't ask for headquarters. We didn't ask for more 8v8 maps. We didn't ask for safe house, which I like safe house, but we didn't ask for objective type maps. We asked for TDM maps, and here we are 2 years into the game. We still don't have a 4v4 TDM map. The Watchtower was pretty great. That was actually a really good map. I actually like the Watchtower, but that came up before Last Laugh. That's probably the best map on the game, especially when you play at the sides. The bounce pads are lame, but whatever. They don't really, I don't feel like they understand how to balance things for PvP.
I've always enjoyed Fortress. A lot of people don't like that.
It's too laggy. But we just take whatever the devs throw at us and we try to make it work.
A lot of people do lag in there, but I usually don't.
I normally don't have too much trouble with lag in the Fortress.
Headquarters and Pit are the ones that
a lot of stuff like you were talking about with, you know, the registered block breakers and, you know, getting stunned, you know, lunge and everything when you're actually blocking after you threw a block break. I mean, some of that is lag, which, I mean, I think, you know, can be blamed on the PSN network itself. You know, obviously the PSN network's got issues. You know, if it was like down for maintenance for like what, 2.5 days, but you know, other stuff too. Though, I mean, the blue immunity thing. I mean, I honestly don't know why they introduced the blue immunity thing. Because it does not take skill to farm blues. It doesn't take skill. You find somebody who's block breaking and you lunge them. All right.
Yeah.
You know, somebody keeps spamming lunges at you. You block. All right, people have been doing that to me for 2 years before the immunity came around. So I mean, it's not like.
Which is us saying, we take the crap that the devs throw at us, and the PvP community, we just try to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely go back to what a year and a half ago. It's been a year and a half, and PvP was better a year and a half ago than it is now.
Yeah.
I felt like it took, you know, greater skill to compete at this. It was that competition in PvP that's kept me playing for a year and a half. And
skill or not, it was a lot more fun, and now it's just whack. PvP is pretty whack now, and it's about to get a whole lot worse. And this game isn't bad. Like, we don't. A lot of us that might get on the forums and troll and shit, we don't think the game is bad. We don't think the game sucks. I mean, there's a reason why we do pay for our subs, but we're passionate about the game and we get irritated. Like right now, I'm irritated.
I mean, I put it this way before. I think that a lot of us play this game for two things. For what it could be, because it's so close to being, you know, the best game out. It's not, but it's close. If there were fewer issues, you know, and like you said, this are the things that keep coming out that we don't want or like. So I mean, a lot of us play the game for what it could be, and then we get angry when it's not that, you know. And also some of us are still playing for what the game used to be. We don't enjoy it like we used to, but it's like what we do, so we keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the main reason why I keep playing is I've been playing this game with Carlos since launch, and ran into Mr. E, never miss Haiti, that, and everybody I've met since then, all right, are like the main reasons why I've kept playing this game. And why I love playing this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the game. The combat systems I think is great. Take out the blue immunities to be a hell of a lot better. But I mean, the main reason why I keep playing this game is for the people that I've met, since launch and at launch.
Yeah, it kind of takes me back to when Batcave 3 came out, and it was like freezing was so bad that nobody in their right mind would have played this game. But we were all in it together. Like everybody in the league was, we were all in it together. We could all get back on it, bitch. Oh damn, you froze.
Yeah, all the fun memories too. It's like I remember the first time we were about ready to beat Sub. We were about ready to beat Sub, Carlos glitched it. Carlos glitched it trying to cast a freaking soul well through the wall because he got taken out.
Oh yeah.
and then I mean that was update 3. And as soon as that happened, then all of a sudden the game like everybody DC'd off the game because the server crashed, and we all blamed it on Carlos, joking around and everything. But I mean, it's fun stuff like that, that sit back and think about and we laugh about and joke about, sitting in a. But I mean, stuff like we do now. The main thing the thing I like most about doing raids, especially with the league, is sitting in there and doing stuff like roast and never miss for like. An hour. Telling Never Miss how much he sucks, or just joking around with everybody. And
I think the community of friends that can't make the move to other games is a big part of why I come back. I mean, I go back and watch like old PvP videos, and that ends up normally making me resub. But also, the PvP mechanics on this game is what separates it from other MMOs, and the devs aren't taking advantage of it. I think that they kind of sleep on it. Like, they don't know how great this PvP system is and the combat mechanics are. And I think that some of the players don't either.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've said before. I feel like this game itself is a test server for the next generation of consoles. Like, figuring out what works and what doesn't for the next generation, because it is pretty broken. But I was thinking while we were talking here that one thing that they've really fixed was the voice chat. You remember how bad the voice chat was?
Oh yeah, voice chat was horrendous. I also went back.
It is a lot better now.
Yeah, I remember getting excited hearing like Daytime in the morning.
That article Greg Miller did about why he's still playing DCUO. I went back and I looked at his old article about why he thought the game sucked, and I was looking at that video that he had up there, and I was looking at like the old league management tab and everything. I was like, oh my god, that thing was horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, they've made a lot of really good improvements to this game, in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
The improvements they've made, the majority of them I do like, but some of the stuff they've done with PvP is just, makes me want to just like double.
Those are the things I appreciate the most, are the little things, the voice chat getting better.
I give the devs credit for stuff like that.
Like maps and things being better.
Fine, the devs aren't complete failures. But seriously, it's just the PvP attention that we get really irritating. Really, really irritating. My sub ends in like a week, and I'm either taking another break or I'm quitting. We'll see. I don't plan on resubbing, that's for sure.
And that's frustrating to me because you're one of the guys who's been playing this game with the most since launch, and that frustrates the hell out of me when I see guys like you leave. Mr. E's talking about leaving now. And honestly, if that happens, if you guys end up leaving, I've got no heart whatsoever left in this season, in this PvP season we got going on.
Yeah.
I got no heart left.
SOE's never made things like these events easy for us, which is what I was saying on Skype last night too. Is SOE makes it hard for us to bring old friends back to the game too, especially with. I hate to keep going back to the replay badges, but. Seriously, guys like Dance and Necron, like they're never gonna come back because replay badges.
They're so far behind. Yeah, they're so far.
Yeah,
they got frustrated with the game a while back, and left, and now they're actually, like Necron's honestly, he wants to get back into the game and everything, but he's so far behind now. And I understand the replay. Now, they originally advertised the replay badges as being there for, newer players or people coming back to help them catch up with all their buddies that have been playing the game for a while. But that's not what people were using the replay badges for. It's not.
Exactly.
It's really not. I mean, I'm sorry if you see somebody who's advertising in the Watchtower, wanting to do a marathon on gates. All right, no, they're not using the replay badges to help somebody catch up. And see, that's another thing I don't get. Why does if you just do one gates run, all right, you're looking at you trade your marks in for that. You're looking at 650. You're looking at 650 marks of triumph right there. But if I turn in if I turn in only if I turn in 10 marks of strategy, I'm only getting 250. And the thing is, the big difference with that is I only have to run that one instance once to get 650 marks of triumph, but I have to win 10 arena matches to get 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
and it's going to take longer than 45 minutes or less to win those 10 matches.
Yeah.
This game revolves around the replay badges, and I don't see how they can deny that. It's really...
Yeah, I mean, I don't have 2 full sets of Tier 4 on this tune. I've run Gates every week since it came out. I mean, minus maybe 4.
Yeah, that's why I don't get like some of these guys. There's one guy on there. I'm not going to name him. I'm not going to call him out here because I'm going to be posting as a video with this conversation. But this dude on there, he's like, so I've maxed out the Triumph. I've got full Tier 4, all 4 sets, blah 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 blah, and all that. And it's like it's just you guys are just being lazy. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have that much time, nor do I feel like spending that much money on replay badges to get that. And he tried telling me he didn't. He tried telling me he didn't use replay badges. I mean, come on, man. I've reset. I could count on one hand how many raids I've reset. All right, since replay badges came out. All right.
Yeah,
I've done 3 or 4 on this too.
I'm just now getting ready to finish up my 3rd piece of Tier 4, or my 3rd Tier 4 set. And,
I just finished my first set.
Yeah. I'm sitting here at what? How many marks of triumph do I got right now? Let me see. I've got 8,800, almost 8,900 marks of triumph. All right. Now, no, I don't PvE nearly as much as this guy apparently does, but I also don't use replay badges to do it. So, Big Rich is out here wanting to see the damage for snuff out. So, I mean, it does not. I don't see where these guys get the idea that you PvP guys are just being lazy.
Yeah, I mean,
about it and stuff. I mean,
we're a PvP league. That's what we do, and we prefer to spend our time doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
especially when you look at all the PvE content. I mean, I'm sorry, all my raid feats, all the raid feats, got them all. All right, all the alert feats, with the exception of the 500, got them all. Challenges, solo content, got them all, except for like my tokens and treasure boxes.
Most PvP players are like that too. They're in the same boat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, and that's the thing. The vast majority of the PvP community that is steadily growing now, especially since we got the season started up. The vast majority of the PvP community is growing right now. Has all that. They've been playing this game since launch. All right, we're looking for some kind of reward system for that, so we don't end up. This guy's just going around ganking everybody.
And to add on to that too, some of us didn't really care to do what we already have on our plate. Like, we didn't want to get all these feats because they're boring. Some of them are boring to get for us.
Oh yeah, like
not for everybody.
I've said several times, like, man, I'm glad I'll never have to do that again.
Yeah,
I've said that several times.
Yeah.
There's some people who like the PvE, and some of us don't. And when it comes
Well,
to feats like the 500s,
Prime Battlegrounds is a perfect example of that. All right, so if you got all the feats in there, I ain't got no reason to go in there anymore.
Yeah,
It's
challenging.
I mean,
maybe
for the
once
4
in a
marks
while,
of
I'll
war.
go in there.
I mean,
well, I go in there now with the way that you're gonna need Triumph. It's worth going in there now.
yeah.
Did you see, going back to those conversion rates, by the way, Ice Lantern's math?
Yeah,
Crazy, bro.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I can't remember what post he put that on and which one you quoted on and all that. But I mean, that's what was it, like 52 marks, you said?
I'm gonna find the post right now. Yeah, it's 50. I think 52 or 56 marks of war, and it ended up getting you like over 3K marks of triumph or something a week. That's for free. No, 52 marks of war, and it adds up to 3,380 weekly marks of triumph that you get for free. That's without duos. That's without challenges.
For doing what?
That's just tier 4 content. That would be the first op, the second op, the T4 alert. Every single day you have to do that alert. Then you have to do gates and prime.
Which doesn't count towards your alert feed because it's an operation.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I have to go in there. I gotta get, because the thing is, I don't want to trade in any marks of war until I get all my tier 4 sets done.
Yeah.
And then I still don't want to do that because I've got this damn Runes of the Norsemen shit to get.
Yeah, you need a rune card
really
really.
that feed. And that's 30 marks of war a pop right there. So I'm looking at still for a while before I can actually go in there and do
Which is something.
any converting for war.
Something else they could do too is they could just make conversion rates fair and make a different kind of currency for this home turf stuff. I'm not sure, but I'm not liking the way it is right now. I don't know what they can do, but conversion rates definitely aren't fair, in my opinion. If you put strat at 100 marks per strat, you still come out with 1,200 at the end of a week. That's a third of what you get for doing PvE content for free. No, that's also, if you think about it too, that's without doing your FOS rates, which get you pretty crazy marks with Triumph. And without the monthly boxes too. Now, if you're playing for replay badges, come on, cuz.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's really
I already run FOS 1 6 to 7 times a week. Once with each of my alts that that are in that neighborhood.
Yeah, see, and that's another thing too. I don't even do that, and like you were saying earlier, so this is like this DLC is an alt killer.
That's a deal breaker for me. I love my alts. And they're all fairly geared.
Yeah, and I was just getting to a point where I was going to start, like rolling my alts into some PvP to start getting some PvP gear for them too.
Yeah,
like
I got
right
4 alts that are almost, I got almost 6 full sets of
PvP ready
T4
alts.
PvP. Yeah, my alts are PvP ready. 4 of them. My villain's not quite full tier 4, but he's close.
Nobody got time for that.
But
Nobody got time for that.
it's just, oh my, I mean, I don't
So
know.
basically, what they want me to do is to play one tune and to buy replays for him. That's what it's looking.
That's the way it sounded like, And plus now, they came out and said that they can't.
But that'd be the cheapest way. They'd actually like it if you bought.
They can't, and they're not going to try to make it so where your alts have access to like your mainframe. So you can't, take your alt into your mains layer and get any of the mods.
Yeah,
Or any of the trinkets.
Where like one character has to be logged in to access that layer or something like that.
I think. I don't know if it has to be like that or not. I mean, it's like we haven't.
Well, that's what they said in that post. They said it's something similar to the skill tree system. Like where they built it off of that, and technically your character would have to be logged in to access his lair. So they can't do that.
The root of this game's biggest problems is replay badges. They can't make anything without thinking about the replay badges.
Yeah, replay
Yeah,
badges
I
make
mean-
everything obsolete too quickly. It's like we got 114, 125, and 135 like all in the same couple of months.
You can't really blame them. They got the revenue stream coming in from the replay badges. So I mean, you can't really blame them. But I am definitely in the future going to be thinking twice when I see SOE on a game before I buy it. I probably wouldn't actually buy another SOE game after this.
You know, like I said, though, the biggest thing with this is, replay badges should not play a factor into this, all right? Because you know what, people are going to use the replay badges however they feel like. They're not going to use them. They're not going to use them, or they're going to dump. They're going to dump, $20, $30 a month on them. Either way.
Yeah.
Seriously.
At least, I mean.
They should
I know
not
people
play.
somewhere in that.
They shouldn't. They should not play a factor in any of their equations for this conversion thing, simply because not everybody goes out and freaking uses them like that. As like me and Carlos, straight up, me and Carlos were like completely out of competitive fights for like the longest time because I didn't really use my replay badges. I mean, I used my free ones, but I didn't buy more just to get my tier 4 set.
Yeah, I use loyalty points for.
I'm still working on completing the
too.
second.
Same thing.
I'm still working on completing the second set out.
I did buy some when they had the
nostalgia.
sale, and I'd buy a $20 PSN card, so I have $5 left over. I'd either buy a movie or I'd buy replay badges with it. I did that for a few months.
Abolish replay
For
badges.
people who still don't get it, like you have to be top-notch geared to compete in PvP. Like you're trying to be on an equal level with somebody who might have more than you. In PvE, that doesn't matter because they're helping you get it done faster.
Yeah, really.
I can't like.
And you only have to be at a certain level to contribute to your team. You're not a detriment. If you go into FOS 1 and you're wearing the reverse gear, or the CC gear, what is it? If you're smart enough, you're not hurting your team.
Yeah, and they were talking on the forums, and I think it was Mihili Longtime and Mr. E saying how you use replay badges on PvP. I did too, and we didn't really use them on I reset one raid, and you know what I reset it for? For the chance of getting a utility belt that I could use for PvP.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like all this stuff that they've introduced in PvE that we have to go PvE for so we can have it in PvP because everybody else is doing it. Utility belts, consumable plans, mod plans for our gear and stuff. And this DLC is just making it worse. And
Yeah, I honestly
extremely
wouldn't
frustrating.
mind if they did a strip down, like make utility belts only usable in PvP or PvE. I mean,
Well, see, that argument came up, like when E posted that post up about having to PvE to PvP. I was like, people were talking about. I was like, we get all these sodas, all these consumables and stuff like that from the reward boxes and everything, but they're restricted to PvP. All right, but now to make everybody happy with that, they're going to let us have party packs in PvE now.
Which was, I felt like they did that with a smirk on their face because what we really wanted was for them to remove party packs in general from the game. They make the game easy and they makes PvP operate on random chance. You get these sodas randomly. It's dumb. It's really dumb. Just remove party packs, man.
I mean, I felt the same way about mods. I didn't think that mods should have been in PvP gear. I thought it was cool for PvE, but when they first came out, the stuff was unbalanced. I was a fully tiered healer and getting one-shotted by fire DPS. Like, what the hell was going on here?
Yeah. I mean, and another aspect too that we're looking at. I mean, I know almost for a fact that I've feel really strong with this is the fact is that the reason why is because they're wanting people to go back and play that lower tier stuff. They're not just because they want people to keep playing that content, but because like the newer players, are having a hard time getting groups together for it. I know, especially on the villain side. Apparently, even though every time I'm in a Hall of Doom on the villain side, I see people shouting for all sorts of raids all the time. But apparently, villains can never get a group together for anything.
They want the experienced players to be in those raids so that the new players can see how it's done.
Yeah.
Maybe get mentored. But here's the thing. But what ends up happening is they get chewed out and called noobs most of the time instead.
Yeah, or what more realistically is going to end up happening is you're going to have league runs on this stuff. Always have league runs on this stuff.
Which a lot of leagues do already.
Which a lot of leagues do already because people don't want to have to deal with carrying somebody, so they'll put together like go five or 4 man outer raid.
This league a fucking entire raid like outer. One of us can carry an entire raid.
Who's that talking? Because you got bad.
That's Cabral. That's through me. You got
That's
through me.
But
Cabral.
A few minutes.
Is that OMG?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, going back to that though, you got people who already who are going in like there's people 4 man and 5 man and outer like 6 months into the game, 6 months after launch, right? Now I've seen a video on the PC forums. People put a group put up there. They 4 man prime. They 4 manned it. You got groups like Odyssey, who are posting videos of them going around, doing like 24-minute, league speed feat on FOS 2.
Yeah.
They're not going to put together a pug to try and do stuff like that. All right. And I'm sorry if a league can get together a 4-man group to go in and just 4-man prime, all right. Why would they bother putting together an entire pug group to go in there and do it?
Yeah, most definitely. That goes back to replay badges being exploited. That's not helping new players catch up. Those players can't even get into groups.
It's extremely frustrating. I don't get why. That was rude, Rich. But Rich is out here. He suspect fire, and he snuffed out some dude that was in the middle, towards the end of a duel.
I have mixed feelings about R&D.
I mean, I like the R&D because it got people out of the watchtower at least go farm. But and I've liked the 1v1s I've had with people in open world fighting over an exobit. I mean, I like what it brought to the game. I just once again though, I got a PvE to get my FE4s. I've got to get PvE drops to salvage so I can have the materials for it. And
Which I think you have to use complex for consumables, no?
Complex. You have to use complex for consumables. You need to use 125 arcs of Triumph for a Catalyst 4.
Mm.
And
so for like 44 consumables, you've got to win a PvP match 4 times, 5 times.
Yeah. That's only for like 44 or 48. A stack of 48. So it's like that's why I said I'll spend like upwards of like probably 1,500 a month just on catalysts.
Fuck that, man.
And
shaking my damn head though.
Twilight. I like the looking for group chat too that I've seen in there on the test server and everything. I'm not willing to go in PvE for 6 hours a day just to have a look in the group chat though.
Looking for group chat. I'll block that shit so fast.
But I mean, it's like, and they've said, and nor do I, do I really see, anybody actually going after all four, or all 5 perks in the mainframe. I don't see anybody actually trying to do that, unless they're one of those people who doesn't mind, dropping
To test things out though.
$80 on. Yeah, I mean, I've been testing out on the PC test server, but
What happens when SOE patches something, they change it, or we find out something's not as effective as we thought, something else is more effective, and then we've got to go back and grind it again.
Everything is towards PvE. I'm telling you, aristocrat Curina, get wrecked, pew pew, get nerfed. That's the whole process. It has to be. Why didn't they flip it? Why didn't they flip it?
Yeah, they tinkered with a lot of stuff nobody
they
asked
didn't
them to
nerf
do.
clipping. They didn't nerf clip. They slowed martial arts down. They did not nerf damage on clipping.
Okay, they didn't
One-handed is
nerf
still
but
fine.
they damn sure nerfed it. They nerfed sticky bomb.
One hitter.
They did break Sticky Bomb, I heard.
Well, Sticky
You
Bomb-
told me
Sticky
that
Bomb is
doesn't even-
hilarious.
It's a hit or miss.
It doesn't even hit anymore. It's garbage.
Yeah, I heard it
I
was
love
back to
testing
missing
that.
again. But the ticks on Sticky Bomb were overboard, man. I mean, 7 ticks for Sticky Bomb was overboard. I mean,
For
4
90
or
on
5.
average, that's awesome.
And the damage doesn't split. I like that. But the hit or miss.
Yeah, it being back to missing
Literally.
again is kind of lame. But
We need Deadpool back.
Get out of here.
no, shut up, never miss.
Come on, car.
We need
Don't
Deadpool
break
back.
gadgets again.
Make the SNOP again. Oh, when is track logged on?
Damn.
But I don't know, man. It's just I'm not looking forward to going back to doing all this PvE again. I mean, I've PvE'd my ass off to get my freaking challenges and my duos done, so I would not have
Should've
to do
waited.
them again.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going back and doing it.
No, you need 2 months
anytime soon.
practice from 1 month of trial, so get ready.
I mean, the only thing I can hope is that they look at that thread where they announce these conversion rates, and they're like, they see where everybody's coming from. I mean, I see where they're coming from.
We want money.
As far as
That's all they're coming from.
well, they're worried about people just going in farming losses to get tactics, which I understand that. They're looking, at the reward, versus running, like challenges and duos versus doing arenas for the
That's what we're
strategy and
trolling
everything.
right now.
But I came up with another idea in that thread that instead of them, they talked about how they're not going to reduce the costs for the upgrades for the mainframes, but if they're worried about people who are doing arenas just to get the easy marks so they can skip tiers in PvE, which technically they can't do anyways because they have to get full tier 1 before you have to get a combat rating of 43 before you can get tier 2 gear. That if their main concern is all of that put a combat requirement rating on the upgrades, on the tier 3 and the tier 4 upgrades.
I know that's not their concern. Come on, man. We know what their main concern is. SP.
Replay badges.
SP, I told you yesterday, man. You know what the main concern is. I know you face palmed when they showed the conversion rates. You were like, Carlos is gonna throw this in my face.
I did. No, I face palmed in hell. I mean, I showed you that to you guys. I mean, you should have heard me on the source cast last night. I was like almost livid, and Meps even, he tried to make an argument for it there in the chat, and I went on a 10-minute spiel about how it was still messed up. But I mean, I think there was something that was said about that.
I keep getting ninja invites.
What mods and
PvE and
PvP
PvP
get?
are
Let's go.
separate parts of the game, and they are. But I mean, if they're looking at possibly, I mean, because Jens Anderson actually went in to say here in this post of his that they're looking at making it so where like everybody's going to be able to earn like one set of marks to go and use for PvP or PvE. At least that's what I got from this. Okay, ultimately is our goal to unify the currency underneath the top tier on both sides of the fence so players can use their marks on vendors for either aspect of the game, tearing down said fence. Top tier, whatever it is at the time, will require players to play the game mode associated with it, but the older gear in the lower tiers can be obtained however you want to earn the marks. So, you know, I don't know if that means it's going to be like one set of currency, so like everybody's going to be earning marks of triumph whether you PvE or PvP or not. I don't know. I'd like to think that'd be something they were going to implement, but I'd like to also think that we'd be able to earn a fair amount of those marks in PvP that we would in PvE. Because I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I told you last night, Carlos, on Skype. I was like, you know, I went through the Cersei challenge in like 5 minutes. I mean, I died twice doing it because you know I didn't have the pathing down quite right. But I mean, I finished that challenge up in 5 minutes. In like 5 minutes. That got me 75 marks of triumph right there with my reward box. I did the Regal Hotel, the Joker challenge today in under 6 minutes. Just zooming past all the ads in there. Didn't die once.
Yeah, man. I know.
Well, they're looking to give us 300 triumph per week for all 12 of our strategies, so it looks retarded. You
The
do
game is broken. And I'm legendary.
I'm glad they're not developing Defiance or Dust 514 or Final Fantasy. I'm glad they're not developing that.
Yeah. Competition.
Sony's
Hopefully.
paying for about 6 months of my membership.
And you got
double pay.
And you got to like OP with mad replay badges.
Double charging.
I don't want DCO to die, but I definitely don't want it to get any worse either.
Yeah, me too. But they need a game advisor that do it like they talk to you like on PvE side, PvP side, so it wouldn't like conflict. It sounds like they're just 40-year-old men just fucking making updates for a game that they think would be fun because back in the 80s it sounded like a good idea.
This game is going to hell. Get ready. I didn't come out with league management. Man, come on. Ain't no one got time for that.
I mean, I did get a chance though. I mean, one good thing I did notice about the DLC so far, I did do a lair duel last night before I got off the test server, and I mean they are pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it's a 1v1, but it's like you're like doing a best of 5 in there, and the little cutscenes in between the rounds are cool and all that. I got like 2 boxes out of it too. I don't know if that's what they intended for it or not. But I mean, it was cool using those lair duels. I mean, doing that lair duel and stuff. But it's just, I just think that you know this whole, again, I mean, the main reason why I won like one of those rounds was the orbital strike.
No, it's gonna be 325 feet on it. So that's like 2 feet points on it. No, 3 skill points.
Yeah, I mean, the feats that I've seen so far. I mean, they've added some since, you know, in each. I think they've added more in the
What's
recent build
325 from on
they put
Iconic?
on there. But
What is that damn game called? Oh crap.
no, there's more than 3. There's more than 3 feats in there.
It's like progressive.
But there's like
it.
4 new styles. There's all the feats for like getting like all the furniture for a complete set, you know, for your lair and everything like that. And plus, I'm pretty positive there's a progressive win feats for lair duels. So how high that goes up, I don't know. You know, and they keep saying that they've got more planned for us for PvP.
No, they don't.
You know, they can't
Like
talk
that.
about it. I wish they would, though. That's the thing, though. I wish they would. I wish they would give us, you know, some kind of like.
If they talk about it, they're probably talking about duels and open world
Bro,
PvP. Like
unless their PvP plans include trinkets and perks like the ones that you get in this home DLC, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're probably talking about duels and open world events. PvP. We're gonna take that out later in the future. Let's milk our
Maybe
way
I'll
for-
unsub, and maybe when that DLC comes back, I'll try playing again.
I came from the future. SOE future. We're gonna take PvP out the game, not yet. We're gonna milk our way first.
I'm curious to see how having all these like ads and sidekicks is gonna like freezing it.
It's good. Oh, you know it's gonna freeze the PvP. You know.
It's like 30 ads just block breaking everybody. Punching.
You're gonna be doing vengeance, and like everyone's gonna be
You
calling
know
in their
what
freaking orbital strikes and shit.
Mr. Boo could do by himself. Wait till you see my sidekick. You will lag.
I swear, dude, I think I gotta get like a 7 kill streak on ads before I can call in an orbital strike. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I'm definitely gonna get a
The
sidekick.
ads and then like getting people hitting sacrificial offering and shit. Like this is gonna be.
I'm using my sidekick. Stop
Oh,
to lag the other team.
they're just making bad updates so they can kill the game. Like so, it's just so bad.
They're tired.
I'm logging off.
Like last was a shitty update.
Be easy, guys.
And this update looks like shit too.
Alright, Carlos.
So, and Hands of Fate looks like shit. Or shit.
Like I said, everybody that made this game do not PvP. None of them does. If they do, they're probably talking about open world. It has to be. It has to be.
As always, if you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think in the description below. Especially, do me a favor if you guys are on Twitter, you follow me on Twitter, you follow DCUO on Twitter, send this video to them as many times as you can. Alright? Spam their Twitter feed for it and all that, because you know, just one voice isn't, one or 5 voices isn't enough. It takes a lot more to get these them to see things the way that we see them. So please, by all means, you know, get in touch with DCUO any way you can, whether it's their Facebook, their Twitter page, the official forums. Let them know how you guys feel about this. If you agree with me on it, you know, if you don't agree with me, that's fine too. I'm up for a civilized debate on the issue. Anytime. My dogs are going nuts because they're mad about this too. But yeah, please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, you guys all take care. Bye.